both spots really, but it was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd hang out in parking lots till 2, 3 in the morning, drive home.
Yep.
Hell, I remember my son. I remember my son being about 3 or 4 years old, my oldest boy, and we'd hop in the little Nissan truck I had, and we'd go cruise and look at the cars and the chicks, and and we
Bad
we
influence.
we'd cruise, check out the cars, and then we'd park, and we'd sit on. There was like a little grassy spot in front of one of the shopping centers, and we'd sit there and watch the cars go by. And he'd go, "Daddy, look at the cars," and then car full of girls go by. "Daddy, look at the chicks."
Right.
Oh man.
He's 27 now, so this wasn't yesterday. Okay, nobody. This was many years ago when that was the Archie Bunker days, the George Jefferson days when that was allowed.
How old were you? Like 3 when you had him? Because you don't look that old yourself.
I'm no, I'm 47. It wasn't in the 70s.
Wow. Okay.
This was late 90s.
I was there in the 70s.
I was too, but I was an infant.
Not me.
No, I wasn't, says the guy with Medicare.
So you're
Hey.
you're an art guy?
Oh, I've been an art guy for 15 years. You kidding me? Not that I agree with everything they do. I just, they got good discounts on stuff.
All right.
Hey, I wanted to ask you guys when you guys were talking earlier about the older cars and then the upgraded suspension and stuff. Do any of you guys have any knowledge or experience with air cups or hydraulic cups that go in the suspension?
You talking about airbags or?
No, it's like a cup. So on the from what I gather, the little bit I've seen is I guess it's a cup. It sleeves over the top of the
Upper control arm.
the strut, and then where the spring is, and you can have like coilovers or whatnot to lower the suspension. But then if you're going to go over a speed hump or pulling into a driveway, you can raise it up just enough. But so like for a sports car or whatnot, you can keep it low, and then pulling into a driveway or whatnot, you can raise it up just enough, just a little bit, a few inches.
I haven't seen that. It sounds nice. Sounds like a good idea.
Those Iron Horse Garage Boys did a old 70s model Pontiac Catalina convertible.
Mm-hmm.
Put airbags at all 4 corners. Man, they did a great job on that. But it's just a cruiser this guy has down there in Nampa, Idaho. Brought it to him, says, "Here, airbag it." So they did, and it turned out great.
And I guess the cups are cheaper than the airbags because it's just a cup. And
where did you see that, Isaac?
I've seen a couple different videos. I watched a video today with a Datsun 240Z or 260Z that the guy, he was showing the build process, but he had gotten air cups for it. And the one place I originally saw it, there's a GT40, one of those super performance GT40s, and I want to say it's like Rivian or something like that. The guy took it to SEMA, but he did his own wide body kit on it and everything. And this thing just whatever, I think it was Michigan or something like that, wherever the guy was, they were out. It looked like out in the country, and the car was parked on some grass, and it was like the blades of grass were touching the bottom of the car. Nice. And they were talking about how low it sat, and he says, "Oh, now on his, it was hydraulic cups." And he said, "I've got these hydraulic cups. We raise it up," and they raise it up. They get out to the out on the road, and he drops it right back down, and it sits real low, like he's out on the track.
And
Were
he
the
didn't
roads
put any
terrible?
links or anything. He didn't put any of the supplies in the links.
You know, I don't remember because the hydraulic ones were the ones I was having a hard time looking up. I found a bunch of links for the air cups. I had
Were
those
the
earlier
roads
today.
terrible in the video?
No, so it might have been
Then it
somewhere
wasn't
like
here.
it might have been
wasn't.
it might have been somewhere like Idaho.
It was on the other side of the railroad tracks from where you are, Slingshot.
Probably. No, I've been over there. They're worse over there. We
Well,
had,
and the state of Maryland, if the roads are really bad, that means you're safe. That's a safe neighborhood. The roads that
Right.
get fixed all the time is the rough part of town. They got it because they had to do their improvements. So
about a
that's
year
what,
ago,
that's
we
what you
had
go by when you go to buy a house. You look for terrible roads, you know you're safe.
Here's the
about a year
car.
ago we had a reliable carrier's truck come and pick up a car from our shop to take it to an auction down in Indy, and they were
That's-
asking about because the car had some stuff in it, and the driver goes to me and my boss. He goes, "All that stuff is secure, right?" Oh yeah. Well, you guys know that Michigan's got some of the worst roads. No kidding.
Yeah.
We live here.
Yeah, that's that car.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
It's Ruffian.
I'd say
RUFFIAN.
I'd say at the bottom of his video, see if he linked any of the suppliers or parts he used. A lot of guys do that.
Yeah, I'll have to,
Or send him a message and ask him. Ask him direct.
See, I would like to do air ride on my truck.
do what was that, Lewis?
I'd like to do air ride on my truck, but I got to put my money in the bus. I can't play too much on the truck.
Yeah.
But I would
I
love
was
to do
watching
air
a
ride.
video.
Oh, this is cool. Air cup lift system. Yeah, so it just does what I just looked up something. So you have coilover, just like you said,
Yeah.
and then it sits in it, and then when you want a little extra, just jacks it up like another 2 inch or something, 2 inches.
I was watching a video the other day, Lewis, about a bus that had 300 people on it, and it went over a cliff.
Woohoo!
I'm thinking, how did they get 300 people on that bus?
That had to be in India or someplace like that.
It was,
Yeah.
it was Africa. They, they were
they-
sitting on top of each other's
Those-
heads.
Those are
Yes.
those cups.
Yeah, that's it. Stance parts, right? Is that what you got? Was that
Yeah, I
what
think that one stands parts.
yeah, stance parts.
Yeah, the way Iron Horse Garage did that Pontiac, those cups you're talking about.
Yeah.
The kit they bought, it came with cups, and the top of the area where the coil spring would be, they cut that out and then put that cup in there and welded it in. And
Yeah, here's a
they
picture
were
of
able to, yeah.
There's a cup on the setup. Now, on the one you're talking about, Joey, was it full airbag suspension or was it cups?
Well, it was full airbag suspension, and it had those cups that the airbags had to mount to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they welded those in. They didn't bolt them in. They had to cut that hole out bigger in order to fit that cup in there where the coil spring used to be.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen those. So that I think is different than these cups. These cups are actually the cup itself has the whatever component in it that airs up. Where what you're talking about, it's where the bag seats.
Okay.
yeah. This actually looks pretty cool. So you take
I'm
the
not really knowledgeable about all that. I've watched videos and seen how people do it,
So you take
Yeah.
where like the 3 bolts where it would bolt, take that off, put the cup there on the spring,
Mm-hmm.
and then you push the rod all the way through, and then you just put the coilover just in like a normal coilover,
Right.
and then you hook an airline to it. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I was thinking because I'd like to do so with the Porsche, I'd like to do coilovers in the front and get it pretty low.
And then
But
do this. Yeah.
yeah, because pulling into my driveway, and we have some parking lots in town that have some mountains for speed bumps, but more so than anything for pulling into my driveway, coming up over the curb. I can't lower the Porsche and put any type of front air dam fascia on it.
Right.
If I lower it, I mean, it sits low as it is, but if I go coil springs and I lower that thing down,
You got to go up on an angle.
yeah, I've had to do that quite a few times. I got lowering springs. I used to have a 92 or 93 Nissan Maxima, and I went with it was either a 2 or a 2.5 inch coil drop, and it was fun on the road. I mean, for a big car, it sucked down on the road. It handled nice. Pulling into the driveway, I'd have to go at an angle like that, and it just got tiring.
All right. So the question is, how far are you from Central Phoenix?
I'm about, let's see, Central Phoenix. I'm about if I left right now, minus traffic, I'd be about an hour and a half.
You hit it, Lewis. You were just about right.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about you the other day. That's all.
Where to send the guy?
Right.
Yeah.
We got to get coordinates. And he was coming out of Central Phoenix. So.
Hey, if you're sending him this way, that's great. Don't send me up there right now. It's hot as hell up there.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they're so we haven't hit 100 yet officially. And the other day, Lewis, you might have saw it on my Facebook where I said, "What the holy hell is up with these weathermen?" The guy's excited. We're about to hit 100 degrees, and I'm like, "Okay, we get it. It's the desert, but Jesus, don't be all excited. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?" And anyways, I watched the weather later on that evening and saw that Phoenix was already at 104.
Wow.
And we were officially hovering at, I think it was like 97. I want to say at my house it was probably about either 99 or 100 even, but we're usually a couple degrees above what's official here. But when we're officially at 97, they're at 104. So this time of year, I definitely try to stay away from Phoenix.
Mhm.
All right, Lewis. I don't think I'm going to the barbecue anytime soon over there. I don't know. It's a little too hot for me.
Yeah, we've had a couple of 75 to 80 degree days, man, and it's been nice.
Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta jump ship. So I
All right,
appreciate
Lewis,
it.
take care.
And
All right, Lewis, reach out to Christian. I tell you, he's just now since I asked him. I tell you, he can talk bikes, man. He hasn't let me go since I asked him. He's been going nonstop about stuff. So
okay, tell him I'll hit him up tomorrow for sure.
yeah. Talk to him. You'll have a good time. He's a super knowledgeable guy. He's a regular on the show. We have him on all the time.
Okay.
He calls in all the time, so he definitely
He
knows.
should come on here.
Yeah, you know what? I've mentioned it to him. A lot of times he's in the shop working. So when you talk to him, mention it to him. I've asked him before. I've invited him on before. But
I will. So hey, I want to let everybody know that we're going to be doing a lot of work with Wrench Nation. So keep an eye out for him. Go check him out on his podcast, and he has all the social media. This Wrench Nation. Frank is one of our guys. So check him out.
YouTube?
He's everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
French Nation TV.
Yep. So check him out. He gives a lot of tech, and he does a lot of stuff for schools and kids. So check him out if you get a chance.
Guy with the great hair.
Yeah. And I will see you guys next week. And I appreciate everybody. Have a good night.
All right, Lewis.
Night.
Hey, Lewis.
You
Have a
too.
good night.
Later, Lewis.
See you later.
Ray, what was?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Isaac.
I was gonna say a while back we were talking about the LED headlights. I've got a set. I think they're supposed to be here on Monday. I've got a set of the Holly Retro Brights coming in
Oh.
to try on my S10 Blazer.
You bastard! You pay was it $174 a pop?
Yes, on
They just had a sale.
Summit.
They just had a sale. Yeah. I just can't see spending $400 on 2 headlights.
Yeah, I actually, and I think the sale just hit because I spent about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Well, I spent several months, but officially I spent a week and a half, 2 weeks going back and forth, pulling them up, look like, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger.
I've been doing the same thing.
And then I pulled them up and I was like, that's it. I'm pulling the trigger. And I pulled it up and I pulled up Jegs, I pulled up Summit, and then I pulled up Holly's website. And I was like, hey, they got a sale. I got to pull the trigger now.
So let me ask you, your S10, is that a square light?
Yep.
Okay. See, because the question I have, and I'm going to expect a full report on this.
Yeah.
I put sealed beam halogens in my car now, which is better than the T3s it came with. And of course, they do the LED halogen style where you just put them into the housing from the rear.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they protrude through the housing, and I don't have space because I have the battery right there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious with these assemblies, how much deeper they are, if they are, than standard.
I think I have the same issue with my battery. Is just right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the passenger side, right, Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
real close.
They have the halogen because I had the same problem with I don't know if it was Emma's or Brianna's car, but they have like the LED. I mean, the LED lights to go in the back. They have ones that have angled connectors. You know, they like
a 9006 or something like that.
Yeah, like the 9006 or
6 or 5. I don't.
I can't remember, but
9004. I think is
that's what I had to do. I had to change them because I had gotten the ones that came straight out the back and it was rubbing up against the thing, and I changed, and I had the clearance problem. I had the room then.
I mean, yeah, that could be good. Some of them, they just nothing you do is going to help. So
on these,
application.
On these, I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah, it's not. Holly doesn't make. It looks like Morimoto.
Wasn't he like the Japanese chef?
I don't. Yeah, he's making headlights now.
That's crazy.
No, that's what I'm looking on their site. I'm looking at the pictures.
All right.
It looks like.
I give you credit, Isaac. Isaac, yeah, I couldn't pull the trigger on that one.
Oh, on Holly's site they have a comparison.
One of the things is that on the Blazer, I don't know how yours is, Keith, but mine's a 95. But the headlights are so dim. Now I've gone on to forums and I found there's some, if you redo the wiring, there's a way to use the regular seal beams and make them brighter. But I started looking at it and I was like, you know what? I don't have the time. I really don't want to do all that. If I can find something good to do plug and play, I'm going to try it. It's an expensive try, but I figured.
I just bought the housings and then got a LED. Well, I have in my Typhoon, I have HID, which that's freaking old technology now, right?
Yeah.
But I have I don't know on the Cyclone. I don't know if I have LED on the Cyclone. I'll have to go look.
Now on these, it has the plug, and it's got a pretty good length where you can plug into the harness and move your harness plug down or whatnot. You have room for play, from what I can see.
Here, let me.
I have.
Look at that link. Can I? Am I able to share? How do I? I can't do that.
You're on. Well, that's on the private chat line. The link.
Yeah, I know.
Share it on the private chat.
What made you shave, Keith?
I was getting too hot. The heat. I went outside for like 5 minutes and I was doing some yard work. I'm like, all right, it's coming off. The next day, I'm like, shaving it off.
All right.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Got my summer cut.
All right, so I'm rebuilding an 80-gallon air compressor.
An 80-gallon something.
80-gallon air compressor.
Yeah, that's what he was just gonna say.
And all it probably needs are those little wiggle lines that go on top of the pistons that builds the compression up. But he's frozen. He's lost in time.
Yeah.
He done froze up.
Drop another quarter in.
Yeah. So that's the peep show. Come on.
The
It was gonna
eclipse
be
happened.
like a Fonz on the jukebox. Like,
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see that picture, right? It looks like it might be a little bit larger. I don't know.
The backing to me looks like, off of that picture, looks like it's shallower.
Oh yeah, the glass part, where the with the roundish part
On the back.
Yeah.
So I
My
think
my only concern, or my only
Why is
I
it
would
so
want to
quiet?
look at, because this is what usually a lot of them will say for motorcycle only, and they don't have the right indents on the back to fit in your buckets, because the buckets are different on a motorcycle versus a car.
No, these would they show it on a square body truck.
Yeah, I know that. But like I said, it can be done, Keith, but with fabrication.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I don't like about some of those headlights, because they're not DOT approved,
Well,
or they don't have the right they don't have the tits on it for back in the day of alignment wise or whatever, even though we don't do that anymore. But I have tons of different headlights or whatever that I've gone through the years, and some of them will say motorcycle only, and you had to fabricate the bucket to make them fit right, so you can put your ring around it to hold it in.
It says Holly on it. I put those just the regular housings. You know, they have the housing, and then you put the bulb in the back. I put those in the S10s without a problem.
Okay.
They fit.
Now, the one thing I did find when I was looking them up, so when I was on Summit, from what I was seeing was there was a bunch that were just high beam, a bunch that were just low beam, and I'm like, hell, that's going to be a problem, because I have the single, and then I found one that it had both high and low beam, and because before seeing that, then I was like, do I want to pull the trigger? I was like, well, on one aspect, if it's brighter than what I got, then I don't need a high beam bulb, but because if I put high beams right now, it might somewhat get light enough to see.
Yeah.
I mean, they're candlelit dim. They're so bad.
So it looks like a little glowworm going down the street.
Pretty much. When I get a car behind me, they usually light the path for me. I mean, it's that bad. And I'm not talking about the brand new cars with the ultra bright lights. I'm talking about maybe a early to mid 2000s or older car.
Test.
What are you testing? Yeah, and then on my 53 Buick, I have these round ones that have like on the sides, it's like turn signals and lights. I mean, it has all kinds of different lights. So I hooked up to the turn signals. So I make, what happens? I turn left. I think the whole thing blinks orange. The things around it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
it's got like the halo.
Halo, yes, that's it.
Like the BMW halo.
Yeah. So then I just did away with the one there's supposed to be another blinker underneath the headlight. I'm like, oh, good. I don't need to fix that. Just use those. But I haven't driven the car, so it doesn't really matter. I did figure out that I was driving around the yard and I had the headlights on. I'm like, wow, it's really aiming high. I'm like, that's weird. And I hit the high beam button, and then it went down. I'm like, oh,
You got them upside down
I go,
or
it's the
wrong
opposite
side.
way. Yeah, I still got to fix that. I hit the high beams and it drops down. I'm like, oh shoot. That car's all just hobbled together anyway. Do whatever.
Yeah, I'll be interested when these come in to see how they work and how well they work.
Yeah, it looks like I bet you it fits. I can't see them making it that it wouldn't fit in the stock spot because every boot would have the problem.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We'll see how they work, how they go. I mean, if they brighten it up real good, I'll be real heavy. I might even be willing to drive my car to Marana, which is basically on the outskirts of where I'm at, but it's out in deep Marana. It's all cotton fields and alfalfa fields or whatnot. So it's fairly dark out there. But
is there anything done to the S10? What is it? Right,
mine, it's just a 95. It's a 2-door. I put like suspension drop blocks in the back. Yeah, I don't know if it's lower springs. I got it the way I bought it, and I don't know if it's a drop spindle or if it's lower springs
in the front.
Yeah, I've thought about airbagging it. I've thought about putting a C4 rear end setup in it. That's what I'd really like to do, but or maybe going with a 4-link setup. But even if I airbag it, I'm not looking to airbag it to go up and down. It's more so just to stay low. I want it low. Yeah. I've got a T5 from a Mustang sitting in the back of my Dodge truck that I would like to put into the Blazer because my automatic trans is pretty shot.
Yeah,
but it still runs. It still goes.
Is it a 4.3?
See,
yeah, it's the 4.3.
See what I'm talking about? Stuff sitting around here. Here's your BMW light sets.
Yeah. Yep. Do you have a BMW?
No.
Exactly.
But they're the it's
HIDs, yeah.
HIDs.
Yeah.
eBay.
Round. Here you go, Ray. There's your round headlights right there.
Yeah, put those suckers in. Yeah, but HID, I don't know.
That's just old technology. I mean, like I said, the stuff I got, it's all 40 years old, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had, because I used to sell headlight bulbs, the blue headlight bulbs.
Uh-huh. And
then I'm like, oh, and then HIDs started coming out. I'm like, oh, let me start looking at HIDs. And then I started looking at HIDs, and I had a bunch of random HIDs. And I just recently in the closet, I'm like, throw it all out. I even threw all the blue bulbs. I'm like, done.
Did you
all the crap away?
Did you like the HIDs? I mean, I knew like one or two guys that put them in their Toyotas, but there was just so much you had to wire in.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. It was good for the time because there's no LEDs were like either way too expensive or didn't exist yet. Depends on it was too much wiring. You had a ballast, and ballast would go out, and then headlights on. It like takes like maybe a minute for the headlights to get to the full brightness. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately for me, I'm that old school guy. I mean, I like it's like the turn signal. I mean, the sequential turn signals that I have for my Mustang. I've got the old wiper motor style instead of the relay pack. That they changed later in life. So, and of course, I always like when you're looking at an older Thunderbird and the guy turns that, because everybody always says, "Oh, I want to see your lights," and you hear that motor down in the quarter panel. You're like, "That's awesome," and everybody's like, "What the fuck is that?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'm old school that way. Where, that's why I have these, because I thought maybe one day those would go in something.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I've just got so much stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, Joey said he's backstage.
Backstage, lost. Did he unfreeze himself? Warmed up?
Must have.
Turn the AC down. I mean,
Justin, did you watch Cletus McFarlane?
A little bit.
So you should watch the new one they just put out. You'll probably get a kick out of it. They're doing body work. They bought a car. They had him and George.
That's a good one.
Yeah. He thought he could just take Bondo and just fill in the hole. Anyway, that's all I'm going to tell you. But the rest of it, I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? You'll freaking
Keep
crack
putting
up.
it in there.
Yeah, you'll crack up.
I'm
think
back.
you'll kick out of it.
I'm still
80-gallon compressor rebuilding. What are you doing?
All right, so I purchased the 5-horse engine or motor, and I'm trying to find a 6-inch double V-belt pulley with 5/8 shaft.
Mine's like, I think I have it here.
Did you look in the,
I'd love to have it.
Did you look in the MSC catalog?
Either Granger or MSC.
You know, Joey, something
Why
weird
do you
happened
go
when you
to
left
I'm sorry,
before.
man.
I lost all audio.
Yeah, well, when it crashed over here, all of your all's cameras just started had that ring of death going around.
Well, now you came back and I can hear you, but I don't think I can hear anybody else.
You can't hear us?
You can't hear us?
He can only
I
hear
don't
you.
know if they can hear me, Brian.
Say
We
something.
got you.
We are
We-
talking.
We can hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear Brian at all. I can't hear
Well,
anybody but you.
Can you
Coach
hear us,
Isaac
Joey?
said, "Good, you can kiss his ass."
I can take him off the screen too, so his ass is grass. Around, he's done, man. Yeah.
You might need to go out and come back in, and that'll fix it.
If I go out, you're all out, I think.
No, it still will stay going.
Yeah,
You
it
just
stays
have-
going.
Yeah, you just come back in, and
It's
it'll be fine.
Who takes over at that
let me
point?
see.
Did you take us off live? Tell them take us off live.
Remove
Yeah,
from
we're still
stage.
live.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
we're
me.
still live. Tell
See
everybody,
you, YouTube, everybody.
hey, Mater. Thanks everybody for being here. We appreciate you.
You know, I'm gonna kill
hanging
it.
out
I'm gonna
with us.
kill the live first. I'm gonna do that.
Hold on,
All right.
I'll end the stream.